Hi, this is Austin Council, and this is the week 11 tweet. So, the prompt for the tweet reads: Neuroscience provides us with the understanding of what takes place when we think. Ultimately, this understanding can have a profound impact in how we lead in our organizations. Based on the articles and the class discussions, what will you take to develop your applied leadership and why? Specifically, link this to your mental model for how the self is interconnected to the other. This is your opportunity to read something, so find something that adds to your understanding of this concept and tell us about it. So, the Heatherton article, I think, was the one that resonated with me the most. The 4 parts of the social brain, thinking about how the different areas of the brain relate to decision making and thinking and thought process. Going through the 4 components really helped me understand how important the brain is for leadership and functioning and making decisions. So the first one is self-awareness, and I think this is huge. Being able to reflect on your behaviors, knowing your actions and the things you're saying and how they affect other people. I think that's one of the most important things in leadership, because you are in a leadership role, you're under constant scrutiny and criticism. And so I think having a good sense of self-awareness, your followers, I think you can develop much more respect with them. I'm just thinking about, a future career in an organization, being able to have a good amount of self-awareness. You really know how your words are affecting others if you're able to have a high sense of self-awareness. You won't have to second-guess yourself so much, because you can be confident that you're aware of the implications of your actions and words. The other thing is mentalizing. This is something that I do a lot. Deep reflecting on if what you're doing or saying is violating any kind of social norms. I'm reflective all the time on if there's something that I said or something that someone did, or any kind of situation where there's an issue or a problem. I'm very deep and reflective and intentional with trying to mentalize and reflect on what I'm saying. I think that's very important. I think we should really take time to think about things we're saying and doing, and I think mentalizing is a big part of that. Threat detection. This reminds me of when I was teaching middle school. You have so many in and out groups with the administration, and when I was teaching middle school, I really had to keep an eye out for new teachers. As I became somewhat of a veteran teacher in my middle school, I had to look at if people were getting excluded, and I think that happens a lot. I think in any kind of organization or workplace, you want to make your followers feel safe, and at this time I was team leader of my grade, and I had to constantly be on the lookout for people if they were gossiping, or if someone made someone feel bad about something. As teachers, you're criticized a lot from your peers and from administration and students and parents, and so you have to have a sense of welcoming. You have to behave and act in a welcoming way to your followers, and so I wanted to make sure that none of my teachers felt threatened. And people worry about how they're going to be evaluated. So being able to assess the workplace and the organization where you're working, and being able to make people feel safe and welcoming, I think is super important. And then self-regulation. This happens after all of these. This is like at the end. I think it really goes into putting yourself into uncomfortable situations. It's like a test in your brain. All areas of your brain are working when you're doing this. If you're fully self-regulatory, then you can be in difficult situations and know that you're doing the right job. Being in control. staying in good graces with other followers and employees. I think self-regulation is very important. And so thinking about these 4 components of the Heatherton article, it makes me think about if our brain is, different parts of our brain are working, especially the frontal lobe, processing and decision making with these 4 components. It makes me think about my humility research and what goes into a person becoming humble. And I'm thinking about a Harvard Business Review article I read recently called The Crucible of Leadership, where it talks about different experiences people have had when they are, like different experiences they've had that have caused them to develop a sense of humility. And a lot of them are negative, but there's a lot that are positive. And I would be really interested to see what areas of the brain are affected, like if you were to do some kind of scan to see what areas of the brain are more active than others when you have some kind of a life-altering experience, going on an international trip and doing developmental work, or witnessing the birth of a child, witnessing the death of someone. I wonder what the science behind that is. So that was my article that I related to our discussion. And that concludes my tweet video for this week. Thank you.